If you've been failing at trading for years, this dude was right there with you. Dave was broke as hell, literally eating sardines at 2 a.m., sweating through the summer with no AC, trying to flip accounts while everything went wrong. He wasn't some seasoned vet or ex-Wall Street prodigy, just a guy who got tired of blowing accounts. Fast forward to today, he's funded $200,000 and just cashed out his first 5-figure payout. How? Not luck and not some magical candlestick pattern. He finally plugged into a simple model that actually works and stopped trading like a headless chicken. In this video, I interview him and discuss exactly how he went from stuck to funded in just a few weeks. What changed, what he followed, and why. It works better than 99% of the noise out there. Yes, you'll see how long it took. Yes, you'll see what made the difference. And no, this isn't a damn course pitch. You'll walk away knowing if this approach can work for you too, even if you're not experienced or skilled. Watch till the end because this might be the wake-up call you've needed this whole time. I'm excited to introduce my student Dave, who's been my student for about 2 years now. And during this time, he's gotten funded over 6 figures with us and also gotten over 5 figures in payouts. In this video, we're going to be talking about how he's actually achieved these results and the lessons learned and the strategies that made it happen, especially the strategies. So let's get started, Dave. Can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, well, I'm Dave. I like to play music. I like my cat. My cat's like my best friend. I love my girlfriend. Yeah, I'm Dave. That's very much me. I've been trading for some time. I got into crypto in the last bull run. The first crypto I bought was Dogecoin, like right at the top, which was kind of funny. And from there, like I bought a bunch and then it just dipped, and then I bought some more, and just the dip just kept dipping until I bought like at the bottom. And I never sold last bull run. I just kept everything. And with this like current bull run, I just got back into crypto, used my funds from last bull run, which I had some profits. I was actually like green, even though I bought like Cardano at the top as well. And yeah, I started like, just trying to grind online, farming airdrops, and then I went into like meme coins. They were pretty hot and kind of degenerated a bit from there. And you introduced me to funded trading. Um, I had some obstacles in a way, but I eventually got funded last year. And yeah, this year I'm like at nice 5 figures in payouts, and really focusing on trying to be consistent and yeah, getting that money every month, not just on and off here and there.
Fuck yeah, man. And like before working with me, because I know that before in the last bull run, you were mostly just like doing a bit of spot trading, like buying some coins, like you said. And then you kind of came back into the world of trading in crypto through, from what I understand, was like airdrops. And then you moved into a couple different areas and then eventually funded trading. Was there a period where you were just like trading yourself and trying to figure things out?
Yeah, actually, well, I was farming airdrops for a while, and it was kind of good money for some time, right? I made like a couple K until like my wallet got drained, and I was like absolutely devastated. But yeah, like actually one of the airdrops I was farming was on a perps platform. So you had to trade and generate volume to get the airdrop. But I figured like, okay, if I'm generating volume, like might as well just trade and make some money. So I went into like some basic like I think it was the MACD. I was just trading the MACD on like the 5 minute scalping, and it was actually profitable, but because of the spread, it was just like break even, which was like fine with like because I was just like farming the protocol. But yeah, like you got me into funded trading. The math just checks out, right? You can get a funded account for like a small amount of money and get like 6 figures in funding and make some good money. So in June of last year, I bought a couple accounts with some profits I had from like some plays I made on spot. And actually went down like -8% right away because I bought like alts at resistance and the market just dipped. So I made some mistakes at first, but I like fully locked in, and I actually managed to get my evaluations from like -8%, -9% to passing phase one and phase two. It did take a while, but I eventually got funded. I got some payouts, and yeah, that's kind of where where I'm at right now. I've got some payouts. I'm right now. I'm like I said, I'm like mostly focusing on not just being profitable one month, making some good money one month, and like the other month is like kind of meh. I'm really trying to focus on like consistent monthly payouts and results. That's really my main focus, which has been great lately. I mean, since I implemented my new system, I've been pretty consistent. So just gotta stick to the model. So that's pretty much my journey with crypto and trading and all that stuff.
Yeah, we've been cooking with the model, man. It's been great. I wanted to know, like, what were the biggest challenges you faced when you were trying to trade on your own before, like, working with me and everything else?
I think it was just I just didn't know where to start, and I feel like if you look online for like anything related to trading or like finances, on YouTube, it's just like a bunch of like fake gurus and scammers. And honestly, I didn't at first I didn't even think that trading was something you could do and actually like get decent money from, because you just hear about the stats that most people fail. And when like most of the influencers online you see, except like some couple that seem legit, are just like using their followers to like profit off of them and just kind of low-key like scam them. It's really hard to trust it. So honestly, if I didn't know you personally before, like we actually started working together, I wouldn't like I wouldn't have thought that was like actually possible to do. Because I remember like being on calls with you when back when I was like really poor, and you were like talking about how you were in Mexico, and like you had like a pool at your place and all that stuff. And I was just like stuck in Canada, just being like super poor, having to like pay my car that kept breaking down. And I'm like, shit, like I should just give this a try. So yeah, your question was like where I was before.
Yeah, like the biggest challenges you faced when
Oh, the
trying to trade on
biggest
your own.
challenges, yeah. I mean, yeah, the biggest challenges was just like finding like a roadmap of like how to achieve this. I have like no real concept of like how you could like achieve this. So I remember like being on a call with you, and you just kind of told me like the basics of like trading. Like, you need to follow your plan, you need to find the edge. You taught me about risk to reward, win rate, all that stuff. And from there it was just back testing. Like I didn't even know what back testing was back then. So I guess I had like more of a like roadmap to like achieve what I wanted. Find a strategy, back test it, make sure it's profitable, then be consistent with it. That's really all there is to it. And yeah, so that really helped me. I think I'm good at like I'm a good like self learner, I would
Mhm.
say. So all I need is just like to be shown the path, and I can walk the path myself. So that's that's like that was like pretty much the benefit of like working with you, I would say.
Yeah, like I would say one big thing that I've noticed is like a lot of people like there's this kind of like disbelief or like there's like this mental barrier that like stops them from believing that making money online or at least with stuff like trading is like really, really, really real. And it's until like you actually meet somebody like in real life, ideally someone that you trust that's actually doing it and that proves it to you that you're like, oh, okay, this is actually real, like
It's legit,
properly
yeah.
real. Yeah. And then that's when like something switches and you're like, okay, well, what do I do now? And that's when the real challenge starts because it's like, okay, well, like, how do I do it? Right? You go on YouTube, try to learn to trade, and there's a bunch of bullshit out there. And that's the hard part is actually having a clear plan that you know will actually work in the long run. And as you know, like the plan that I gave you, which is just the basics of how to do it, clearly works.
Yeah, and I knew that if I just worked on it, I would be able to achieve it, right? Like, because like like I said earlier, I like to play music. And when I initially learned how to like play guitar, my dad just told me like, okay, this is how you hold your pick. Make sure you use like all four fingers. Make sure you alternate your picking, all that stuff. And that's all I needed. And from here, I just learned for myself. But if I didn't have anything to get like a good foundation, it just would have been hard. So it was kind of the same thing with you. You just gave me a good foundation, and I just worked from there.
Yeah, I love it, man. I'm curious, like, what made you decide to work with me instead of, continuing to try to figure things out alone?
I mean, I just I just knew you already. I knew you were making it happen. I was trying to make some money, right? Trying to get out of poverty pretty much. And yeah, like I said, like online, it seems to be just a load of like, it's like finding a needle in a haystack. Like there's so much shit out there. It's so confusing. Um, so just having someone I trust that like already was doing it successfully, like I kind of knew where to go for like actual advice on like how to make it happen, you know?
Yeah. And then in terms of like the ways that I helped you exactly, like what is it specifically that, I was able to do for you? Like I know that you mentioned that I was able to help you give like some direction and make a plan. But I also introduced you to funded trading, which is also a big thing. Because for me, like whenever I started, I didn't even know it existed. And for the first like 2 years, I thought it was a scam. And so I want to know, like, can you talk a bit more exactly how I helped you and the results you got and stuff like that?
Yeah, I guess it's mostly from like the experience you had. You've been doing it like, fully locked in for them more than me. So you had like experience of like making like mistakes, right? You've made all the mistakes, so you were able to say like, don't do that. I've been there before. Or if I made a mistake and like, called you and or sent you a text, you were like, yeah, I've been there before. Like just stick to it, you'll make it happen type stuff. Um so yeah, just I think it's mostly like the experience you had and time in the game, that was really valuable to me.
Yeah, that's usually how it is, really. I mean, because like back in the day, the way that people would like get jobs is like apprenticeships, right? It's basically like your dad was like a forger or whatever, like a blacksmith his whole life. And he just teaches it to you straight from experience. Says, "Don't do that. I did that 20 years ago. It didn't work." So like I've always thought that that's the best way to learn, as opposed to like I don't know, like some standardized system. So I'm really happy that that is something that worked for you and that I was able to help you minimize some mistakes. Of course, some will always be made. It is what it is. You kind of have to learn from experience, but
Yeah.
at least having guidance throughout these moments on how to get out quickly and what to do next, I find really helps.
Yeah, well, they say like a smart man learns from his mistakes, but a wise man learns from other people's mistakes. And I guess you can be wise and smart and have both, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of what I tell to people, because I feel like people like, it's weird to say, but some people kind of like low key like look up to me because I've been able to make it happen as well, and like reach my goals. And yeah, I really try to tell them like, you know, I've made these mistakes before. If you do this, you're gonna it's gonna suck for you. So don't do this. You've been warned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it is though. You warn them, and it's the same for me. I got warned of a lot of things. Like one of the first things I heard whenever I started trading from like all these gurus online was you need to demo trade for a whole year. And I was like, demo trade for a year, waste a year of my life? Fuck that shit. So I just didn't demo trade at all because I had the wrong like information in the end. Like I just didn't do it, and that screwed me over a lot. Had I gotten advice of, hey, like what I normally say is like demo trade a week or like get like a couple of trades in and make sure that it's translating with your back test and you're good. Because like between two of us, bro, like who needs to demo trade for a year? Like
Yeah, a year is kind of crazy. Like it's just such a arbitrary time frame.
yeah.
So yeah,
Anyways,
I mean,
yeah, that came to mind.
everyone kind of has like a different approach, and that's fine. And I mean, I do things a certain way, and if I'm trying to help someone else, like they don't have to do the same stuff I do. But as long as they don't like fall into the same like pitfalls I went to, I'm just trying to make it smoother for them, right? Because you're always going to have obstacles whatever you do. But yeah, one thing you can learn from someone that has experience, like I did with you, well, it's just not falling into the same pitfalls. And if you have obstacles, like you'll be like you said, like you can better navigate these obstacles and see like how you can solve your issues. And it's, if you don't have like someone to help you with that and you're kind of navigating that alone, it's kind of like you're like lost in a forest without any guide, right? It's hard to get out. You can get out, you can make it all yourself, but the process is going to be way easier if you have a guide guiding you through it.
Yeah, and opportunity cost is a huge thing. I mean, like, if you could be making like 5 or 10% on an account every month by just having the right guidance, and it takes you 6 months to actually get there on your own, as opposed to 1 month with some guidance. If we're talking about a 200K account, that starts to add up, you know?
Yeah, it does add up quite a lot, I'd say.
Speaking of adding up, like, how much did you make before joining and working with me, and where are you at now?
Honestly, I was just making like zero net because I mean one of the things with that was that I was making money, but because of like my life situation, I kept like needing to like cash out. So every profit I made was just cashed out. So I wasn't really able to grow my accounts. I wasn't really able to um you know to scale up my either my own capital or like prop firm capital, all that stuff. So that was like a big obstacle for me. Um but yeah, like with some guidance, it's quite easier to get there, right?
Yeah. So, like, recently you've gotten 200K funded and a really nice payout. Overall, like, how many accounts have you passed, and how many payouts have you gotten since working with us?
I passed the 50K account, and a couple percent off of that. And the first payout was at the start of the year, so it was just like four figures. I had like some smaller accounts that was kind of like doing like high risk, high reward type stuff, and I ended up like not taking it like too seriously because my main focus was the big accounts. So I didn't really make much money with that, but that was kind of before I was like fully involved with the group. I'd say it was kind of like a bunch of communities and kind of just being like really my attention was like kind of spread around a lot of things, whereas now I'm really like fully focused on the community and you know improving my own trading, optimizing everything, but also like helping others. And yeah, like does that answer your question?
Yeah, I'm curious, like, recently, like, how long did it take for you to get funded and paid out, right? Because we recently helped you get a 200K account, pass it, and then also you were able to apply your model onto it. And so that's when you were, like, really, really locked in with us, and that's when you started to, like, apply that. So, like, what did that look like for you in terms of numbers and time?
Yeah, I mean, in the group, it was really fast. It's just like you have like a process where it makes it really quick. But before I was really involved, kind of doing things on my own, like it took me like months, right, to get my first account passed. But that was mostly because of the initial drawdown and all that
Mhm.
stuff. Because instead of like taking one account and just trying to pass it fast and use static risk, I use like dynamic risk for a long time. I was just demo trading, but like slowly getting my demo account, well, my evaluation phase like to break even, and then you know, so it took months and months and months. But with the group, it just it didn't take long. I was able to make
Yeah.
money pretty fast because I had the model, I had the resources, I had everything, and the experience, I guess. But we've had like members in a group that like learned the same model as I do, and they're already like getting results, and they just hit me up and they're like, yeah, like Nasdaq is invalid today, right? And I'm like, yeah, you got
Yeah.
it, you got it. You're doing the same stuff as me. And like the other day, they even had like a setup that was like even better than mine. So it's just great to see. So like for them, it's just not taking as much time because they have the resources right away, as
Mhm.
compared to like me when I didn't have like much guidance. I mean, I knew I could just like hit you up, but I kind of wanted to, I was kind of doing things on my own for a while. Um, that's kind of how I went to it, but it's
Mhm.
different for everyone, I guess.
So, like, before, it would take you multiple months to pass your accounts, and they were much smaller. And recently, you had a 200K account passed. How long did it take for it to go from evaluation to actually funded?
I mean, it was like less than a week. It just was like super fast with the prop firm we're working with. It's just like it's like a one phase and just get past super fast and straight to funded pretty much.
Yeah, and we handled the passing for you, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So it took like two days and already passed. And I was quite lucky to have like my first two trades be winners. So I took two trades. I was up 4R. Then I had maybe like one loser here and there. A couple winners. So I had some really good wins at first, and then it was just normal, wins and losses
Mhm.
until I reached my goal. And cash a payout like last week. It's been great.
So it took you 2 days for the account to actually be passed, and then how long did it take for you to get a payout on the 200K account?
Actually, with the prop firm, it's like 21 days. So you can request, and I was eligible after 21 days. So I just the day, like actually on
Yeah.
the hour, like the daily reset time, I just like asked for the withdrawal, and yeah, like they just processed it. So it was like 21 days from getting the account and like 2 days to pass it. So around like 3 weeks for everything.
And
Money
what was the
in
process to actually
in
like
my
get the
wallet.
payout? Did you just like request, send in your USDT address and they just deposit it? Was there like KYC or anything?
Was actually no KYC. I just asked for it. I sent them my address. I had to wait for the weekend because they weren't active during the weekend, but I eventually got it. Yeah, pretty fast. So a couple days to get the payout.
That's crazy, bro. Have you seen like any other prop firm do this?
Other prop firms, I mean, every prop firm is a little bit different. Generally, it's like 2 days, a couple days, 3 days. But yeah, I guess it just depends on the prop firm. But I think that the main advantage of what we have right now is just being able to like go straight to funded, because my biggest obstacle in the past was actually like getting funded at first, right? I was profitable for months and months, but I was just trying to like pass the evaluation. Whereas with the server, we just pass it really fast and straight to funded. So as long as you're profitable from there, like you're all good pretty much.
Yeah, it's crazy. And like the thing that I find the craziest with like this main prop firm that we're working with is just like we can pass evaluation like guaranteed super fast, like not within months, but within days. And then after that, like you have one of the craziest drawdown limits. Like I've never seen a prop firm with a one phase model that has a 15% static, maximum drawdown limit, which is crazy. And then it's biweekly payouts after the first one. And you don't even need to do KYC. Like I've never seen that in my life before. Like not even with the best prop firms.
Yeah, I mean, it's really great. I feel like every prop firm kind of has their like advantages, disadvantages, but with the one we're working with right now, yeah, the drawdown's kind of crazy. I've never really seen that. Usually it's like 6, 8, 10%. I've even seen like 5 and 4, but usually that's like for like daily drawdown. But yeah, 15 is kind of crazy. I've been doing like low risk on all my stuff, but technically, like I could bump my risk and still be fine.
Yeah, it's crazy. And no, yeah, I really love that. Also because they accept like clients internationally, which is something that's really cool. Because like sometimes US clients aren't allowed. And another thing that came to my mind with it as well is like what was it? Let me think. Uh what was the other thing that came to my mind with GFF? The other pro. Oh yeah. And the other thing that also came to my mind with the prop firm that we're working with, which is literally so crazy, is unlimited capital. Like we have somebody in the inner circle right now, which has funded 1.6 mil. Like they got 400K accounts done just like that within a few days. So like that's insane. Because with like prop firms that are like any prop firm normally, like basically you can get maybe a 200K account, maybe 400K, and then to scale up to like a million, 2 million, it takes like years through a scaling plan and a bunch of bullshit. So the fact that you can just do that almost like instantly is, like I said, like I've never seen that before. It's insane. So the potential for scaling up is pretty much infinite.
Yeah, and that's just like one prop firm. You can still like get accounts with other prop firms. Of course, you have to like pass the evals, but if you're profitable, you can just get one account and like with your payout, get an eval, put that on your copy trader. If you're making like 5 to 10% risk, I mean 5 to 10 5 to 10%, 15% per month. You can pass it within a month if you're taking a one phase, and then you have more capital, and you just take like parts of your payout to get like more funding. So that's always an option. But yeah, I mean, if you just with that prop firm and like other prop firms, you can really get a lot of capital and really scale it up. And that's what I'm trying to do currently, and I think that's the goal for most people actually. You just start somewhere, and from there you just scale up.
Yeah, I love it, man. And the best thing with like prop firms is once you get your first payout, like 0.5% to maybe 1%, that account you have, whether it's a 10K or 400K funded account, is risk free. Like that's crazy, right?
What do you mean
Like
like free?
like let's say you spent like 1K on the eval for a 200K account, and then you get like a 0.5% payout, right? That'd be 2K that you make, or 1K that you make. 200K account costs 1K, you make 0.5%, that's 1K. So in other words, you make back what you actually spent for it, and now you just have a 200K funded account, which is
Yeah,
risk free because you got back what you spent.
yeah. I mean, that's what's great, right? Like, you know, with the account I have, I cash out a payout, and I still have the account I can trade, and I can still trade other accounts, and you know, spread my risk around, whatever you want to do. But yeah, like it's not getting that one payout is not the end goal, right?
Yeah, it's definitely like really solid, and it helps a lot. Also, it's like mindsets and like, oh my God, like these payouts are real. Like I'm able to like scale up from here. But I mean, honestly, like from there, the possibilities are endless. Like you can change your risk, you can optimize your model to get more gains, and then on top of that, you can just get more accounts, different prop firms, and take those profits, throw into a personal account, add that to a trade copy, and just keep cycling it. It's
Yeah,
insane.
that's true. Because if you know if you get a couple payouts, I mean it's good money. Like personally, like the payout I had, I'm gonna spend some of it. I'm gonna get more accounts, but like most of it is just like state saved, right? So some of that you can, yeah, you can buy more accounts. You can trade your own capital with spot. Just no rules. You can risk it a little bit more if you wanted to. You could just like buy a bunch of like assets at a low price or whatever, and
Some
scale
Dogecoin.
from there. I was actually like talking in this session yesterday, right? Like with Bitcoin, every 4 years, like historically, you get like really good entries, and you can get like a nice like 4 to 5x, like even more in past years. But I don't think that will be the case since it's getting like less volatile. But my point is, I mean, if you get like a nice 5 figures in payouts and you don't have much to do with it, if you get a good entry in the bear market and like 4x that stuff, you can get to like 5x. You can get to like 6 figure profits just with like without any effort, because you traded, you made some money, and that money kind of you can invest as well, right? Because what we're doing is like short-term trading, right? Like day trading or swing trading, which like with day trading it's like intraday, so you enter and exit a position within a day. Swing trading, it's like a couple hours, couple days, could be like weeks even. But if you want to invest long term, I mean with good capital from your payouts, it's really like a good long-term solution, right? So you can actually make money actively but also passively, which is I think most people's goals, honestly, just to live
Yeah.
a financially free life, I'd say.
I'm curious, like also, like recently you got a 200K account passed and you got a really nice payout on it. Like, how'd you feel when you finally achieved that 6 figure funding mark and a 5 figure payout?
Honestly, I did. If I'm being like totally honest with you, nothing really changed, because one thing is I expected it to happen for like so long, and I knew I was like going to get it, so I was already like prepared for it to happen when it happened. And I was just like, okay, well,
Hmm.
mission accomplished. My life's not any. I mean, it's not like my life like changed overnight. I think when it was kind of more of a gradual thing for me, like getting more freedom. Um, but I think the main thing that changed when I actually got the money was just like um I can just like chill for a bit, right? Because now I could like pay. I could like not have a job, not make any money, not do anything, and still like live my life for months and months and months for the rest of the year, right? So I have that freedom I didn't have before. I'm not paycheck to paycheck anymore, which is great. I've been in that perpetual state for like 3 years. So yeah, it's really great to break from that. I'm really happy about it. But in how I live my life and how I think, all that stuff, like actually not much changed, just because I expected it to happen. And it's all in the numbers, right? When I came up with a strategy, optimized it, I knew exactly how much I was going to make on average, and the live results just reflected that. So everything just went out
Hmm.
expected, because I actually put in the work. So it's not like it was a surprise, like, oh shit, I made some money now. Like I knew it was going to happen. So
Yeah, that really seems like a big thing that separates like most people, like especially like newer traders, unprofitable traders with the profitable ones is like whenever you actually have a profitable model, you're not surprised. Like you've actually put in a lot of work to find data and prove that the trades you're taking, the strategy you have will make you money. So whenever it actually makes you money on an actual account, it's not really much of a surprise. It's like, well, yeah, I mean that's what it's supposed to do, right?
yeah, it's like, let's get this bread, let's get some more, let's scale, right? There's
Yeah.
no yeah, I find that like especially in like the crypto community, there's a lot of like degeneracy, and some people they lose a lot of money and then they have like this big win, which is like, it could be like a profitable strategy, with like micro cap stuff. I was like tracking some people. Their win rate was literally like 20%. They would lose most of the time. They would have massive losing streaks, but then they would have like one winner 100x, and it would just make up for all of it. So some people kind of have that mentality, which is, I mean, if you're making money, great. Of course, it wouldn't be like sustainable for in the context of like prop firms, but for me at least, and I think for most people, it's better just to have something that's consistent and has like reliable returns rather than something that's really unpredictable. You lose a bunch for like weeks and then you have one winner that makes up for all of it. So yeah, it also like takes away from the emotions, because instead of having like a very like wacky and wonky equity curve, it's just like a steady grind, right? What's best for most people, I'd say, especially in what we're doing. And I mean, that's what we advocate with, especially with working with the prop firm. We're not here to like gamble and be degenerates and like kind of be like in a casino where you're just putting chips in the slot machine and eventually get a big win. It's really more about like consistency rather than anything. So yeah, to answer your question, I mean, since I've just been consistent and just exactly know what to expect, it wasn't really a surprise. You know,
Yeah.
the money just feels good. It feels good to have the safety, but my life's still the same. I'm just more free, which is what
Mhm.
I wanted to have in the first place, right? So
Yeah, that's a big thing that you touched on, where that's one thing I've been talking a lot about in the last couple of months of like models, like whatever you're trading, but like, I mean, it's a lot better if you're doing prop firms, obviously, just because of how it works. But like a model that's high risk to reward versus high win rate is always better to do high win rate for the psychology, right? Because getting like 20
That's the
losers
thing.
in a row, but hitting a 50x is not as nice as hitting like 2x 50% of the time, right? Two risk to reward.
Yeah, because like even one thing I noticed from experience is that like the losing streaks is really what gets you most of the time. And like even with like a win rate above 50%, like let's say 55% and 60%, like the odds of getting like two losers in a row or like three losers in a row or even four, it's not that uncommon. Like you could do the math. Sometimes I just like ask ChatGPT and they just tell me like what are the odds of getting four losers in a row with 55% win rate, and they tell you. And sometimes it's not. It's just like it's like 1 in 5 or like 1 in 4. That's not uncommon. It just means that like, if you take one trade right now, your odds of getting a couple losers in a row is like maybe 1 in 4 or whatever. It really depends on your win rate. I think that's probably, yeah, 1 in 4 would be for 50%, if I'm not wrong. But you know what I mean, right? So
Yeah.
like even with like 60% win rate, all that stuff, like something that's very consistent and very profitable traders and really great traders, they just have 60% win rate. You don't need like 90 or anything like that. Yeah, you do get losing streaks and it's just part of the game. But when you get like the lower win rate stuff, like especially if you're below 50, like 40, which could be profitable, 30, we talked about 20 earlier, where it's like really big wins, really
Yeah.
big losses, you're just gonna have like really big losing streaks. If you're below 50, you're gonna have more losing streaks than winning streaks, and it just really gets on your, it really gets on like tough on the mental. because at the end of the day, we are like monkeys and we have like monkey brains, and our brains are not built to like the primal part of our brains is just not wired to train. So we really have to make like conscious decisions of staying on the right path, right? So what I mean with this is that if you hit a losing streak, even if it's like within your data set and everything's right, you're still gonna feel it a bit like iffy, right? Even if you have experience, right? It happened like last week. I had 3 losers in a row. That's totally fine, but I can't help it. I'm just gonna be a little bit stressed, and that's just part of the game. But the main thing that differentiates someone that's profitable versus someone that's not profitable is, are you gonna act on your emotions? Are you gonna get 3 losers and then stop following the model and doing some random shit and just blowing your account? Or are you gonna actually like stay on course and follow everything through? I think that's the best like way I could put it. I think
That's sauce,
I
bro.
went on a tangent, but yeah.
No, I love it. It's pure sauce. I'm curious, like, what do you think is the main thing that helped you actually get funded and paid out in such a short period? Would you say it's like all the data, like all the effort that you put into your model and all the
Yeah,
experience that you've done?
it's honestly, it's like what you said when you first taught me how to trade. Have a model, back test it, make sure you can trade it. You can do demo trade for a week to see if you can actually apply it. Then you just stick to it. It's as simple as that. But like it sounds so simple that people think like there's like some secrets to trading, like the holy grail. I
Yeah.
need to find the best strategy. I need to freaking 90% win rate for R. Like it just doesn't. I won't say it doesn't exist. Maybe there's some trader out there that can do it, but you don't need all that stuff. You just need something that's profitable. And you just need to stick to it, and that's just what helped me, right? The model I have isn't the highest win rate stuff. It's not even the highest RR stuff, but it's consistent. It's easy to apply, and that's all I need. So
Yeah. And that's all that really matters. I mean, if your goal is to make like 10K months and you can get a 200K account, this model can get you that quite easily.
yeah, exactly. And people, they can learn it in a week. That's what happened in the server, and they're already making a killing. So I'm excited to see them having payouts, all that stuff. I think that's going to be even more rewarding than just making money for myself. So yeah, it's really great. Fun fact: at the start of the year, I went to this arcade with my girlfriend, and they kind of had like this animatronic type thing where it was like this like sort of a puppet that was like a fortune teller, and you just give like $2 and they give you a ticket that gives you a fortune. And on the ticket, maybe I can try to find it, but it's somewhere. It said that like my like financial troubles are going to like go away, and I was going to help people like find abundance. And I think it's pretty nice because I mean I've been able to find abundance for myself, and I'm seeing right now people actually applied the same model that made me like consistent, and they seem to be consistent so far. I mean, it's pretty new that they've been actually live trading it, but um, I mean, just if I can see someone that gets a payout from Orb from them from my model, I'm just gonna be like so happy with myself. I think that's gonna be even more rewarding than getting money for myself because I can actually like kind of like spread a wave of profitability to people. It's like the thing they say with kind of making it analogies, but they say with like how can I describe it? It's kind of like I have a candle with like a flame, and I can just kind of pass that flame
Mm.
to other candles. Right? I can kind of spread the word.
Uh,
And I mean, it's not. I mean, it's just a simple strategy, honestly. And I think the main thing we're helping people with is just sticking to the strategy and just telling them that there's no like magic trick, there's no like secret key. It's really just about having something that's profitable and sticking to it, not being dumb. That's all there is to
yeah.
it, honestly.
I know we've talked a lot about this, but I want to know, like, more specifically, like, how do you think the approach that I have is different from others in the space?
Well, I'd say I've been in like a couple trading communities, on Discord and stuff like that. And I think a lot of them are just like signal groups where they're just like breastfeeding signals that might or not be profitable. Sometimes they don't even have stats, so it's like kind of iffy. Like they just flex their wins and they kind of hide their losses, and it's not very transparent. Other communities, like I mean, I've heard a lot of like horror stories from like servers where it's like kind of like it's kind of scammy, all that stuff. I've been in like some other communities where it was like good. I had some value from it. I'd say from what I can say from the community we have is we touch a lot of grounds. I'd say we do have signals where if people they don't want to bother with like learning to trade all that stuff and they just want signals, they can follow that. But we also have the model they can learn to trade and be consistent with.
And we have data for everything to actually prove
Yeah, we
profitability.
have data for the signals. We have data for the model, so they can either choose to like, okay, I'm gonna follow signals. I don't want to learn. I'm just gonna follow what like profitable analysts do, or I can learn to trade for myself and take the trade myself, which can be like even more rewarding, I'd say, because you're like responsible for your own success, if that makes sense. And I think, yeah, what kind of differs from other servers is that we actually have like one-on-one support. It's not like a server with like 10,000 people where it's like a little bit more impersonal. Like we have, yeah, we can work one-on-one with people, like answer their questions, have like direct help to help like everyone individually. And it's focused like on education for like trading itself, but it's also focused on the how you can make it happen for yourself. And I think that's what the value really came like with working through with you, right? Because your approach is not necessarily like you have to learn liquidity sweeps, bro. You need to learn order blocks, bro. You need to do this. It's really like do whatever you want as long as you have a model and stay consistent. That's really, like I said, I mean, I'm kind of repeating myself, but that's all to it. And you have your experience to help people with that. And it's I think it's one other thing is that it's like all love in the server. I feel like in some communities that they're kind of like trying to prove like, oh, I'm the best trader, and let's say you like you long a coin and you were wrong, they're like, oh yeah, I'm better than you, like look at me. But at the end of the day, like I feel like this type of stuff, I kind of just don't give a shit. Like all I care about is like making money. So, I mean, if I'm like,
There's like no ego. It's just
yeah, it's like no ego. We're just trying to help each other. We're not trying to prove like, yeah, I'm the best out there. Like, who gives a shit? So, yeah, it's really all love. We're all helping each other, and it's more like a, dare I say, a little family. So,
so. Would you recommend this program to others? And if you would, why?
yeah, of course. I mean, I think without this community, it would have been like way harder to be profitable. So yeah, I think like I said, we have all the tools for people to succeed. Just depends what path they want to go to. And I haven't really seen any servers where you have like a roadmap to help everyone from literally knowing nothing about trading to actually being consistent. So I think we have a little bit of both. I mean, we have a little bit of everything actually, which can be adaptable to like everyone, I'd say. That makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. And if someone was like considering joining, but they're still on the fence, what would you say to them?
Um, I'd say to look at the post your win section server. It speaks
So
for
simple as
itself.
that.
We're getting people funded. We're getting people to payouts. I mean, the results just speaks for themselves, right? It just, yeah, at the end of the day, it really depends on what you want to do. If you want to trade for yourself, you have to put in the work, and we're here to really just make the process easier for people, because it can be one of the most challenging things out there, right? Just being profitable. I feel like when I first started, like being profitable was like it was like the top of the pyramid. Let's say like it's like almost unattainable. You don't know if you'll be able to reach it. Um, but now I feel like it's just the first step. It's like, okay, now I'm profitable. How can it be even better? right? So wherever at what stage you are, if you're starting from scratch, you're trying to be profitable, or you're already profitable and want to make it better, we have all the tools necessary to help people. So did that answer your question? I keep going on tangents. I just want to make
No,
sure.
no, bro, I love it. No, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Dave, for sharing your journey. Like, I really appreciate it. Your results so far have been incredible, and I'm really looking forward to the future. So, if you've been inspired by Dave's story and you want to achieve similar results, just click the link in the bio so that you can book a call. And I'd love to see you achieve similar results as Dave. Thanks again, Dave. Really appreciate it, and I can't wait to see what you accomplish next.
Should I show the cat?
Show the cat.
All right, give me a second.
Give him the sauce.
All right, there he is.
The mastermind.
He is the mastermind. If he tells me to go long, I go long. If he tells me to go short, I go short. This is actually where the sauce comes from. But yeah, he does seem pretty tired. I think I just woke him up.
Awesome, bro. We're chilling and billing. I really appreciate it. All right, guys, I hope you found value from this interview because we dropped so many nuggets. And look, if Dave's story lit a fire under your ass and you're done pretending YouTube binge watching is some trading plan, click the link in the description, book a call with us so we can see if we can help you get similar results. And no, we don't sell a course, or else I would just be sending you to a checkout page right now. And by the way, if you're too broke to work with us, just access the free trading course from the description. It'll help you a ton. Either way, stop wasting time and start doing something that actually works, because your funded account isn't gonna fall from the sky.